I think something about medics that really gets to me is just how much of a genuine passion project it is. Like, despite the fact that the main character, like himself, Medics, they're a glub shitter, they're a background character, they have very little when it comes to actual lore to work from. But that's where Dunny came in and was able to do something compelling with them. And that's something I always really love to see, people taking these kind of unknown characters and be able to do something unique with them. And a lot of that came from a very real place. It all comes from Dunny's own struggles and experiences when it comes to mental health, something that I also heavily struggle with. And for a project that has a lot of heavy subjects in them, it's kind of cathartic, I think. I think that this project was somewhat cathartic for him. The way it was written, it was able to be tasteful, but definitely still feel real. And I gotta give massive, massive props to Tism, also known as Rack, for his incredible acting. Everyone in the cast did an incredible job. Props to all of us. But I definitely would say that as the protagonist Medics and as semi-antagonist Starscream, God, what a star that guy is. And incredible singer too. This is also one of those projects that I really feel like puts on display how, in spite of maybe having not the biggest budget or the best of equipment at your disposal, when you have a good story and a great cast behind your back, none of that matters. You're still able to create something that's able to entertain, resonate with a lot of people. Other than that, this was just a very fun project to work on with a bunch of my friends. And it was also something kind of new for me when voicing for Knockout, because I've never really done that voice before. As a matter of fact, I just kind of did it on the spot during a Discord call, and that's when Dunny said, "Right, you're casted." And I'm like, okay, sure there's another guy as part of this cast who could probably do it better than me, but I gave it a shot, and I think I did alright. Well, we actually missed, but, you know, that's neither here nor there.
Transformers may be a toy line of robots that turn into other things, but we, as fans of the franchise and storytellers on screen, however small, have been able to turn it into a vehicle for telling more human stories. Stories that are often left unheard. Being Sideswipe in this project, the anchor friend to the titular protagonist of Medics, is a role that I've played quite often in real life, so it's one that I've been able to lend some earnest honesty to. But as someone who also struggles with mental health, Sideswipe is the friend that we all want and need in our lives to keep us grounded and to guide us through thick and thin. It's been an immense privilege for me to be that voice of reason in fictional form as the character, but I can also be that voice of reason for viewers tuning in who may feel like they're alone, but they aren't. And I think that's the most beautiful thing of the film. We aren't alone in this. We are one.
Holy shit, Medics is a year old, and how the fuck? Thank you for watching. Alright, I know I said it in the behind the scenes thing, but still, thank you for watching. It's insane that, one, it got to that many views, and that, two, that many people actually liked the finished product. Holy shit. I had so much fun voicing the characters I voiced, alright? Starscream will forever be my favorite character in Transformers. He's just a goofy bitch. And Medics was way more fun to play than I thought he would be. Which is insane, because the script got depressing as fuck every 3 pages. It is insane to me that I still can't wrap my fucking brain around it. I don't think I'm supposed to be wrapping my brain around anything, but you know what I mean. So, in honor of it being a year of Medics, I'm gonna hit you with some behind the scenes facts, I guess. We did have to cut out a hot, sloppy makeout scene because, and I quote, "Medics doesn't have a mouth. He only has a mouth plate. How would that work?" To To which I replied, I don't know, make it work, movie boy, fuck you. Yeah, that sounds about right. Anyway, thank you for watching. It was way more fun making it than it should have been, and I cannot wait to inevitably have to voice him 8 million more times when we milk this thing dry. And for those wondering, we are milking this thing dry. There's gonna be sequels, motherfucker! Woohoo!
Alright, so, I gotta get this shit ready. Hi, I'm Gurjay. I finally made my channel appearance on this channel. It's about fucking time. And I would like to tell my experience on Medics. Yeah, this is a whole thing that I've seen. I wasn't really a part of it. I'm most likely a test screening, and all I can say is, Donnie, why don't you come here? Come closer. You fucking piece of shit. This man fucking makes me cry. And I bet you're asking, what are you, fucking pussy? No. This man made, by God, I've never cried at a Transformers stop motion film since maybe parts of Rollout. And somehow fucking Medics hits some shit to home, and I'm like, man, what the fuck this? But this shows the fact that this man, Donnie, TSL Productions, aka British Man, aka fuck, you're lucky I can't say what I wanted to say, but you know what I wanted to say. He's talented. He can tell depressing shit. This man fucking yeah, just watch the film. Watch the film. This man is fucking talented. Enough dick sucking. But yeah, everyone deserves their credit. I want to thank, I guess, Jay, Autism, Vic, Flatman, you know, Crispy. Goddamn Crispy. Listen. If you were around, I would. Gotta keep PG. Don't worry, it's not anything bad. It's just, you know. Crispy, talented motherfucker. Basically, he's talented. He's essentially one of the Optimus voice actors that kind of fits the whole be gentle, be strong enough motif that Peter Cullen's carried Optimus through. You know, yeah, there's J-Motion, but Crispy just does it so fucking good. Now, I'm not downsing at every Optimus voice actor, whether YouTube or anybody else. Everyone, Crispy just does this beautiful thing. He just pulls it off so good, to the point there was one film, yes, that one film, where I was just bursting in tears. I was trying to fight back the tears of just me going, you motherfucker, get back in there. And so I really love being a part of this and showing that, hey, everyone was so talented, everyone brought what they can, and everyone else is just very... I'm happy to be a part of something, even though I was just morely a test reading, but that will change doing the sequel, you know? Let's just say, you better call Gurjay, cause I can't say anything because I'm not allowed to say anything. I am keeping everything under wraps. Unless I pull a Kristen Ritter, but, you know, I'm not gonna pull it. Or am I? Maybe. I don't know. But I am well happy to be around so many talented people, so many other things. And everybody deserves flowers, a grilled cheese. Everybody deserves it. And everybody should be happy that this project got enough to the point Donnie's almost at 1K views. Congratulations, motherfucker. But this is all I got from Medics, and I am happy to be a part of the sequel. And yeah. Bye.
So, what does it mean that Medics, a Transformers story, is now a year old? I don't know. Do you want me to give you a philosophical answer? But in all seriousness, after this most recent rewatch, because I haven't watched it since it first came out, and I wanted to get a fresh opinion on it, I really resonated with the idea of self-worth in this film. Obviously, I can't say that I've gone through exactly the same struggles, but I've gone through my own, like, similar struggles of self-worth, like thinking if I'm good enough to just exist. And I would say that part really resonates with me. It's not too dissimilar to a certain rollout film created by Grandpa Tiffy. If you know, you know. But this is really hard for me to put into words. The idea of self-worth, and that you're never really alone in that there will always be people there to support you, that's just something that really resonates with me. It's what made it really special. And this is coming from the guy who played Megatron for like 3 minutes. By the way, I swear to God, if you put my entire recording for the behind the scenes thing for the second movie, I'm gonna get you. Actually, you know what? Just for that, I'm gonna make a 2-hour recording for like 20 minutes of the character. How about that? You green-haired, musty man. Okay, bye.
Medics, medics, medics. What's there to say that hasn't been said already? Well, I got to voice quite a few of the characters in this film, and I think out of all of them, I gotta say I liked being the asshole that was Sentinel in this a lot. Being able to base his voice heavily off of J.K. Simmons doing his best Whiplash, it was really fun to embrace that inner, just evil person. And for me personally, when it comes to this movie, I gotta say my favorite part, that I'm totally not biased on in the slightest, is the score. It was perfect. Absolutely perfect. For real though, I loved every minute working on the score to this film, because it let me do something I never really do that often, creating a whole score for a film. It was my first that I've ever done, and I'm very grateful for that opportunity. So, yeah. Thanks.
I remember when I was first asked to be a part of the voice cast for Medics and reading through the script. I hadn't seen a Transformers fan story that truly delved into the topic of mental health and dealing with past trauma and learning to open up about feelings of anxiety and lack of self-worth. For me, as someone who does suffer with severe anxiety and panic attacks, I can tell you just how hard some days can be when your fight or flight just won't turn off in your brain. It's supposed to be the body's way of protecting you, but when you have anxiety, your brain perceives new experiences and the unknown as imminent threats, and the next thing you know, you're in a full-on panic. Having people in your life you can rely on to remind you that you're doing the best that you can with the body that you have and the situation life has you in is so important and can truly mean the world of a difference during those really hard times. Medics' friends and fellow soldiers do that for him, and he's able to come to terms with the fact that he is enough. And I think that's so, so beautiful.
Guess it's my turn now. So, the message of the film, which is something I want to talk about because it's one of my favorite things, which is mental health struggles and bad people being in a position of power. Now, in the film, as you can see, we have Medics who is struggling with his own mental health, and we have Sentinel, the person who is bad and is in a position of power, making things worse, abusing him, and is just relentless with Medics, and along with some characters, but mainly Medics. And we see how Medics is not doing well at all, and we have characters like Sideswipe and Lifeline who want to try and help him, and I liked writing a few of those scenes. Mainly Dunny and Rack wrote more of the scenes, but I enjoyed really writing those scenes. As some people know, I mainly do skits and stuff for content. I don't really dive into stuff like this. So it was a great honor to be a part of something like this, especially with a great cast of voice actors and people who were writing as well, as we came up with some great ideas and concepts for the film, which most of it made it in, some of it didn't, for obvious reasons. But it was a really fun to work on this film, and I really love how we showed that Medics is not a character. I love how we showed Medics who thinks he's alone and is on his own, but throughout the film we see everyone standing up for him and fighting for him and showing that they truly care for him. And we also show that the person in power is brought to justice and is now being punished for the wrong things he's done. And something else I want to talk about this film would be behind the scenes, as I brought up earlier, like the writing, the ideas and concepts we had when making the film. And the process was really fun, as I got to write a lot of fight scenes mainly, which was really fun. And I got to work on a few emotional scenes, not many, as again, that was mainly left to Dunny and Rack. And we also got to discuss, like, oh, who should we cast, who should we use, like, what characters, and it was just overall a really fun experience, and I hope to continue doing this with Dunny and TLS Productions, as he has many great ideas, and I hope to continue to work with him on those ideas.
Hi, my name's Crispy, and I'm the voice of Optimus Prime. You probably can't tell because I'm sick while recording this, and I want to get this done, so the audio on this is going to be kind of crap, but whatever. Medics is a beautiful story about overcoming your trauma, and I think it kind of shows it in a realistic way, especially when you're in like moments of stress and freezing up. I personally have moments like that where I just kind of freeze up, not to that extent, but I think it conveys that feeling pretty well, and I think Dunny conveyed that feeling pretty well. It's always fun to voice Optimus. I really like getting the chance to do that, and I really like working with Dunny, especially on voice stuff. Mainly because he's really forgiving about me taking forever sometimes. But I really do like working with Dunny, and I know this is getting a sequel. I'd really like to be brought on for that as well, even if it's not Optimus. So, in all truthfulness, I do think that Medics is probably one of my favorite projects I've worked on, like Transformers or otherwise. So, yeah, I'm glad that I was given the platform to kind of speak on this, even when I'm, sound like death, kind of. So, but I just want to say thank you to everyone involved, and thank you to Dunny for allowing me to be part of this, and I'm really excited to see where this goes. So.
Hello, my name is Samuel J., and I was the voice of Hot Rod in this project. With Medics now being a year old, it is honestly a bit surprising how much time has suddenly gone by, because with the project, it became such a... I kept hearing, Sam, I'm working on this, I'm filming this, here's this scene, and then all of a sudden it's a year later since the film's been out. Time goes by really quickly sometimes, and it's honestly scary. I think the most fun I've had on this project, like the thing I enjoyed the most, honestly had nothing to do with voicing Hot Rod. Yes, that was fun, and I loved it. I loved to hear my voice in it and what happens to the poor character, but the most fun I had with it was just hearing about the amount of fun people were having with this project. Just how much of a personal story that it was, because one of my favorite things in community, like fan film communities and even like big production projects, is when a director or actors take their own experiences and turn it into a project that can then be used to help other people relate to it, and then those people who are going through their own struggles may think, yeah, I can tell a project just like this as well, and they'll go on and do the exact same thing, and that sort of will spiral into this sort of community of like storytellers telling stories from their own experiences and just relating to each other. And I think Medics is just a great example of that whole message. And it was just how much fun this project sounded like, and how, you know, like a year later, the director Dunny just keeps going, man, I miss making this project so much. And it's like, I get it, I totally get it. And yeah, no, it's just the fact that the film's got a great message, and also that like it did really well, and is still talked about in the community that I see all the time. And it was just the fun behind it, and the fact that it was such a big sort of endeavor, and that it works, and it's shot in a filming style that I've always used for my own work, and it's just really nice to see that done here for other stories. The film itself, like I said, I am a sucker for changing weather. I love snow, and it's the fact that the film has multiple moments of different weather, I think looks really, really good. I love that. I love the character. I love the casting choice. There's just a lot about the project that's really fun. But as I said before, it's just the making of the project that the director and the crew had, the fun I kept hearing about, is the number one thing that I enjoyed about it, and just makes me enjoy watching the film even more. And yeah, it's been out for a year. That's crazy to think. Time does go by. It really does, and I'm definitely looking forward to more films in this continuity, especially because the director Dunny, a lot like me, loves to take personal experiences and turn them into stories. And in this case, a very well-written story.